Hey everyone, I'm Mike Simpson, a real estate leasing agent here in San Francisco. I've worked with the biggest operator in the city, and over the past 8 years, I've leased over 1,200 properties and toured more than 10,000 prospective tenants. And what I have learned over this time is that there are tried and true systems in order to achieve the highest rent possible and get the best tenants. But I would like to share how I ended up getting to this point. Now, before I got into leasing, I was an account executive in home health. I spent my days going to hospitals, doctors' offices, and nursing homes. And then one day, my manager asked me to start visiting care homes to get more patients enrolled. Honestly, I had no idea what a care home even was. Turns out, they're everywhere, hidden in plain sight. The more care homes I visited, the more I realized how poorly some of them were run. I saw tenants living in less than ideal conditions, dirty environments, poor nutrition. Now, it wasn't everywhere, of course, but it was enough to make me think, I can do better than this. So, I did. I decided to start my own care home business, and let me tell you, it was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. Managing people's well-being 24/7 is incredibly demanding. And on top of it, it barely paid the bills. So after 2 years of struggling, I made the tough decision to shut it down. I needed a stable income, so I took an office job back at another home health company. It paid the bills, but I was miserable. I was always dreaming of something bigger, something more impactful. Eventually, I left that job, unsure of what my next move would be. Now, at the same time, a friend of my brother's, along with some investors, had just bought an old hotel filled with long-term tenants. It was a mess. Hoarders, drug users, and even prostitutes. And they needed help relocating these residents. And because of my care home experience, I had many contacts in the area who could take some of these residents in. Now, once the hotel was cleared out and everyone was rehoused, my friend was quite impressed. So he introduced me to the director of leasing at the largest landlord in San Francisco. And just like that, I landed the job. My leasing career had officially begun. But it was not easy at first. I was intimidated. The office was on the 20th floor of this fancy building downtown. My clients were often working for big tech companies with even bigger salaries. In the beginning, I was trying too hard to please everyone, showing properties at all hours, evenings, weekends. I was touring as many clients as I could, all over the city, even taking leads in the Tenderloin, walking through homeless people and drug users. I tried everything to generate more leads. I posted tons of ads. I tried fancy auto-scheduling software, even hired my daughter during the summer break to post more ads. But nothing really moved the needle. I was stuck around 10 to 14 leases a month. Things were okay, but I knew I could do better. Then, to make things worse, the pandemic hit. It felt like everyone in San Francisco just vanished. For someone who leases apartments for a living, this was very terrifying. My income dropped to zero. I work 100% on commission, and on top of that, I was in the middle of flipping not one, but 2 houses. But after a few months, rental prices dropped, and I had to pivot to virtual tours since people would not come in person, and people are coming back and renting a lot. So this forced me to completely change my approach. I had to ask more specific questions since the prospects couldn't be there in person. This was a turning point, and instead of just making small talk when I spoke to prospects, I started honing my skills, developing my own training program. My sales skills improved dramatically, and I started leasing 20 plus apartments each month. With the extra income, we were finally able to buy a house. But I wasn't satisfied. I was still hungry for more. So I invested $7,500 in a top sales training program, and it was some of the best money I've ever spent. It completely changed the way I communicated with prospects. I learned to listen on a whole new level, to really understand what clients truly wanted. I listened to landlords to see what a dream tenant was. I started asking deeper questions about their likes and dislikes, where they were coming from, where they were moving from, why they were moving, what their expectations were, and the answers were often surprising. I realized that a lot of tenants don't know how their appliances work. They don't know how to take care of the rental or even who to make the payment to. The worst part is, for some tenants, it's not their fault. Many landlords simply hand the keys off to a tenant and tell them Just don't be late on rent. And that's what inspired me to create the Landlord Profit School. I realized that tenants want clear communication, properly screened neighbors, a quick and stress-free search, nice layouts, simple but upgraded kitchens and bathrooms. They still want a good deal, but they're willing to pay more for higher quality properties. They want responsive management and convenient payment options. They even appreciate being shown how everything in the property works. On top of this, there is an abundance of information on how to acquire investment properties, but there is such little information on how to make your rental property the most profitable through systems used by big operators. Strategies I cover in the group include upsells for pets, storage, bikes, and parking. Also, how to offer low deposits, designs that last, marketing, photography, leasing, sales skills, and all of this while protecting your personal space and investment to grow your wealth. My promise to you is that you will achieve higher rents and better tenants. So if you're interested in this 5-day challenge, click the link below and it's going to take you to my online school called Landlord Profit School. You click join group, you fill out your information here, you go into the group, you go into the classroom module here. I'm still working on filling all this out. There's going to be a lot of information here. You're going to be one of the early founders in here, but what I'm doing is a one-on-one coaching for 5 days for only 30 minutes per day. We're going to go over some of the most profitable and best practices for your property. It's only $37, and I promise that you're going to learn a lot more than $37 worth after this 5 days. So if you're interested, click the link below, and I look forward to working with you. Thanks for watching the video.